According to a recent survey by the Kaiser Family Foundation, more than 60% of adults report currently taking prescription medicine, and over 1/4 share they're currently on 4 or more. One person all too familiar with sky-high costs and impossible choices is Janet Kerrigan, a former critical care nurse and cancer survivor who was diagnosed with multiple myeloma and incurable blood cancer back in 2011. Now, Kerrigan was put on Revlimid, a drug that activates the immune system to fight deadly cancer cells to save her life. But her copay, a whopping $11,000. Each pill taken daily was $800. Though she is now retired and on Medicare, she believes Trump RX is just the beginning of the help that people like her need in this country. And she joins us now. Janet Kerrigan, I appreciate you so much taking the time tonight. And I want to start with your story. You were given 1 to 2 years to live, months of chemo, a stem cell transplant. What was this like for you? First of all, facing this diagnosis and then just the crushing weight of this. The transplant alone was $800,000.
Well, first of all, I had a great job. I was a critical care nurse. I never even had the flu before. So when they told me I had multiple myeloma, at the time it was considered terminal and incurable still. And then they told me I had 1 to 2 years.
What goes through your
live.
mind? What goes through your mind with that diagnosis?
Well, I looked up in the sky and I said, I'm going to have to write my obituary. I mean, I was scared. I never cried, but I felt the need to fight for some reason. And I said, I'm not going to die. I'm just going to find a way to live. But I'm telling you what I had to go through in order to get my drugs. I had an 80-20 plan, my insurance plan, but I was responsible for 20% of my stem cell transplant, which was $800,000. And I started, it was a joke. I had a hefty trash bag, and when I received a medical bill, I put it in the trash bag. And it wasn't funny, but I couldn't afford to pay my bills. I had to empty my little pension that I had. I had to cash in my 401k, and then I was heavily taxed on it because I was only in my 50s, and I didn't know what to do. And then when I called the pharmacy to get my Revlimid for the first time, they said my copay was $11,000. You could pay by credit card or check. And I said, I can't afford that. I'm not going to be able to take the medication that's keeping me alive. And then a social worker turned around and told me to get a divorce, and that would lower my income, and then I might qualify for assistance. Well, that made me angry.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And because I was immunocompromised, I couldn't go back to my job. So I had to file for COBRA insurance, which was $1,200 a month. So that was like a mortgage payment on top of everything else.
What does it do to you when already you are fighting for your life? I mean, you said that you were literally in a situation where you either needed to figure out how to pay these crushing bills or die. Yeah. I mean, in this country,
my husband had to pull me away from my computer because I was on it for 8 hours a day crying, looking for help. And everybody was saying, you're over income. Yet I had no money. I was paying all my bills, trying to pay for my medication. Why should Revlimid cost $800 a capsule, taken every day, $24,000 a month? To keep this is a medication that keeps somebody alive, like insulin keeps a diabetic alive. And why are we forced to decide to live or die by the insurers and the pharmaceutical companies? I joined an organization called Patients for Affordable Drugs because I wanted to give a voice to those that are silent. I started a cancer support group here strictly for multiple myeloma, so people would have a place to go to and get information.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so grateful for the work that you're continuing to do. I want to ask, what is your reaction to Trump RX? I mean, what is your reaction to hearing about the new plan? Is this the solution? Does this fix all of this?
I don't think it's the fix, but I think it's a start. So anything that is a start isn't, it's a positive.
Yeah. How
So
do you
I
think this
can't
will help?
comment on it because I'm not using it right now. Um, I just feel that people have to be proactive. They have to get involved. Um, as you can see, I met with RFK. I was invited to participate in a drug pricing roundtable meeting, and he really listened to us, which I was very surprised how it affected him. There were about 6 or 7 of us, and we all told our stories. And he told us he was going to work on this issue.
Yeah, and we hope to see those results. Lastly, I want to ask, as a cancer survivor, with everything that you've been through and a former critical care nurse, what is your message to Americans who cannot wait another day, who are in that moment of staring at their computer screen and crying, of putting those medical bills in the trash bag, who do not know what to do, and they need this medication now?
There are grants out there, but it's hard. It's hard to get the grants. Go to reputable sites. One thing I do tell tell people is that they can make all these decisions. They can make all these bills, but they have to remember there's the human factor behind this.
Absolutely. Like that moment. It's at every touch point, right? It's the moment of your diagnosis, all of your care, but also the pharmacy telling you, hey, cash a card for your $11,000. The social worker telling you, hey, why don't you get a divorce so you can afford an $800 pill a day? My goodness. I so appreciate you making the time tonight. And again, for all the work you continue to do. Retired critical care nurse, cancer survivor, Janet Kerrigan, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.